Hi, this is ZvP on Chupung. My opponent is solid B ranked Protoss with rather good stats. Basically, on this map, it's not a very basic map, so it's very hard for a Zerg especially to learn on, in my opinion. Since it's so hard to flank, there are all these narrow passages, and the second expansion is not very close. It's not far away either, but it's not very close, and many other factors which really make this quite a hard ZvP map. And also that backdoor thing over there behind your natural, which makes it a bit easier to harass, and that kind of makes it harder defending against early rushes and so on. Basically, this is not. I'm not saying this map is imbalanced, but it's not a very good map when it comes to learning ZvP or anything. But on the other hand, you also get a lot of you can play in so many different ways, and you really have a lot of options on what you can do, since you have a lot of cheeses you can do as well, like some kind of a quick lurkers, possibly try and attack his mineral line from the behind. Possibly won't work so well, but if the game suggests it, then why not? It's not too hard to make a Hydra rush over in this map. You can make quick mutas rather easily. And also, of course, since you can defend some expos easily, then it means that it's also not so hard to keep them either, as long as you keep your units like around the map and so on. Basically, I start off with an overpull with speed. It's a rather basic build order. I kind of expect him to go go on with a fast expansion, then use a couple of links to harass him, and so on. Like make link speed and like 6 to 8 zerglings, maybe 10 at most, and whatever else. Now, however, I noticed that he is not gonna make a fast expansion. He doesn't have a forge over there, he doesn't have a pylon, so it's pretty much obvious that he's just going to make a 1-gate build. That's why he will also have his second zealot in that in that ramp before my links arrive, so I won't even try to attack it. At this point, I just want to kill the scouting probe, get a new expansion, and do whatever else. And because I noticed that he's actually going for a 1-gate build instead of a normal fast expansion, then it means that I'm not really gonna need, unless I'm gonna put my whole game behind it, and it rarely will work against good players. But if I'm ready to put my whole game behind like some mass link attack, then I should keep making links. But if I don't want to do that, then there's really no reason for me to keep making links. I can just make those first 6 zerglings and use zergling speed and whatever else to add whatever pressure and keep him from scouting me, and where it looks like I can keep droning up, and since I have zergling speed, I will have no problems even if he suddenly moves out. Like, I don't even need the second colony. If he moves out with a couple of zealots, I can just make a few more zerglings and I'll be all set. I don't need to make a second colony or a lot of zerglings beforehand. That's how big of an advantage zergling speed gives you. I also noticed that he tried to sneak a probe behind, but I saw it with my overlord, so I was able to stop that scouting attempt. It's very important that you do not want him scouting you. I'm gonna go for a 3 hatchery, rather quick hydras. This is a very basic way of playing ZvP. Basically, because I make such a quick hydrogen, well, not such a quick, but I make quite quick hydrogen. I do suffer a bit of early game economy loss, but on the other hand, I get my hydras out before he has his corsairs seriously out. So that means that he won't be able to kill all my overlords near his choke point, and that means that his DTs won't be half as effective as they could be. Excuse me. But basically, yeah, since I'm able to bring my hydras over to his choke before his corsair will be able to kill both of my overlords, that means that his DTs won't be able to drive my hydras away, which once again means that his expansion is going to be delayed even more, and your hydra pressure is going to be far stronger. So he only has time to kill one of those overlords, and in this case he decided to kill the one in the middle of the map. It really wouldn't have made a difference if he had killed the one near his choke. I would have just brought the one in the middle of the map closer and so on. So over here now, he was able to kill that one overlord, but I have like 6 hydras and 12 like 6 zerglings. I'm checking if I can add some pressure. I noticed that he has like 5-6 zealots, and that pretty much means that I won't be able to attack him soon. I can just I gotta get mass up a bit more before I can actually attack that kind of an army. It's likely that he's making quick tech with like 2 to 3 quick gateways, and then he's gonna use those maybe 6 to 8 zealots to push out, possibly get me off guard, and secure an expansion with those units. Right now I'm still producing some hydras. I have a rather weak economy, but the misconception is that you do not need a perfect macro against 1 or 2 get protoss. Like you can over here I exchange a bit of my early game macro to yeah, to getting quicker hydras. That way I'm able to pressure him more. His expansion gets delayed. He has to make more units. He has to possibly cannon up, and I get a lot of good benefits from all this stuff. So it's really good for me. Like I can drone up later. I'm not in such a big hurry to actually drone up as I would be normally, maybe when facing like a fast expansion or something. Like over here it's like ZvP against 1 gate and all. It's all about thinking. It's not so much about you having a perfect macro or something. It's all about thinking. Of course you gotta get a good macro and you gotta get your economy up, but you're not in as big of a hurry as, for example, when fighting a fast expansion. Like I can pretty much make some units and then only try and do something, only economy up later. Like over here I made maybe like 14 hydras or so, and now I'm making my like getting my economy up, and notice how much pressure I'm able to add him. He was forced to add so many cannons, and he's like forced to build a lot of zealots, and his expansion will be delayed because of this. It's all good actually. I also noticed that he was able to sneak a DT inside my base, but because I noticed it, like you cannot make mistakes. That's one thing over here. If he had gotten like a lot of my drones over here, I would have lost for certain. But because he was only able to take it down like 2 or so, it wasn't really a big of a problem. Also notice, because I built such a quick hydrogen, I did not have to sunken up at all. I was able to manage out without sunkening up in the least. I decided to skip Hydra range to get quicker lurkers. Like I'm not gonna mass so much Hydras. Of course Hydras at this point are a big part of my army, but later on like I need the Hydras for the early game and possibly the mid game at most, and even there it's kinda questionable. I'm not gonna need them so much for later on, so I skipped the Hydra range and decided to make lurkers first. Like if I get quick lurkers, then it means that I can add a huge amount of pressure on him, and so on. Like I might be able to add a lot of pressure on him just like that without having so much trouble and so on. Now he's trying to do a zealot counterattack. It's likely